past year was an incredibly challenging time for the Dyer Center, like all of us, as we had to reimagine our approach to helping students develop the entrepreneurial competencies to compete in an innovation-based economy. We pivoted our work and began to support students with independent learning opportunities where they had an opportunity to work firsthand with companies, communities, and issues that they care deeply about.
This year, Eileen and I are working on an idea focused on fueling entrepreneurship within students.
I've been working on building the Dyer Fellowship program for the incoming freshmen.
All right, so this semester I've been involved with the Lafayette Eastern Alliance,
which is a student-led group trying to bridge the gap between the Lafayette community and the downtown Easton business community.
I will say I have benefited from the Dyer Center as if it's like a class here at Lafayette because, you know, with everything you learn something.
Just the amount of resources that's available there is something I feel like you cannot take too much advantage of because it's just so much.
It's just very important for a school like Lafayette to have something like this.
Honestly, I see the Dyer Center's future as this center that brings people together.
Thank you to the Dyer Center.
Thank you to the Dyer Center.
Thank you to Dyer Center for supporting me throughout these 4 years and making my Lafayette experience really special.
A big thank you, to everybody who's involved in the Dyer Center, Yusuf, Jolene, the donors, Brad Dyer. I will always be an ambassador for the Dyer Center.
Without your support, our work is not possible. We are excited about the future of the Dyer Center, and we are excited about all of the innovative ways that we will be supporting our students in the coming years.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us today. Incredibly excited to have so many folks joining us and to give our students an opportunity to showcase their talent, their ideas, and their passions. This type of applied problem solving and risk taking really gets at the heart of what the Dyer Center is all about. It's where we encourage our students to go beyond research and analysis to actively build solutions and create value for others. For those who don't know, the Dyer Center is unique amongst campus departments in that we were founded by, and our programming is 100% funded by our community of alumni, parents, and friends. It's an unconventional structure that has allowed us to innovate quickly and at times fail, but never losing sight of our only organizational imperative, the success of our students. While the success of the Dyer Center is attributed to so many, I'd like to just briefly acknowledge the members of the Dyer Center Advisory Board for their leadership. Jamie Proctor, class of 1996, and Krista Marco, class of 1998, have been instrumental in facilitating collaborations, promoting the program to other alumni, and helping to lead key strategic initiatives for the center. Don Morell, class of 1979, spearheaded the original push for entrepreneurship at Lafayette years ago, and today continues to be one of our most steadfast champions and advisors. Kent Rockwell, class of 1966, who in addition to providing our physical home and the Rockwell Integrated Sciences Center, has continued to push us to act more urgently while positioning our program for long-term success. And last but certainly not least, our eponymous founder, Brad Dyer, from the great class of 1964. As transformational as his financial support has been, I assure you it pales in comparison to the impact his time and talent has had on the Dyer Center and Lafayette College. Collectively, our board has provided the tracks and the locomotive, but it has been all of you that have helped put the boxcars on this train that has enhanced opportunities for our students and strengthened our value proposition in the marketplace. So I want to start this competition by thanking all of you who have contributed to our community through your ideas, encouragement, constructive feedback, for the countless hours of mentorship you have provided our students, the time you have given to judge competitions or give a talk, for the introductions to other alumni and industry partners, and of course, for all of those who have financially supported our work to help our students ignite exemplary careers through innovation, creativity, and intelligent risk-taking. We cannot do it without you, and collectively, I have no doubt we will build a best-in-class center for innovation and entrepreneurship. It's a privilege to serve this community, and I look forward to connecting with many of you soon. And with that, I want to, before we start the pitches, we're very fortunate to have an esteemed group of judges join us today. I don't envy them for the job that's in front of them, and I think all of you will understand that shortly. But all of these alums have been fantastic champions of the Dyer Center for a long time, and I'm pleased to have them with us today. So perhaps, Therese, starting with you, then going to Nina, if we could just have you briefly introduce yourself, and then we can go ahead and get started.
Hi, everyone. Good evening. My name is Therese Brown. I am from the class of 2007. I own and manage Teresa Donna, which is a contemporary women's apparel and accessories brand designed for the superhero in all of us, based here in New York. Last year, I pivoted to become an e-commerce brand, so you can find us online. And tonight, I'm so excited to see hear your stories and to see what you guys have done.
Hi, I'm Nina Flood. I'm joining tonight from Antwerp, Belgium, where I relocated in the middle of the COVID pandemic, which was super fun. I've been with VF Corporation for almost 20 years. And for those of you who aren't familiar with VF, I'm sure you're familiar with many of our brands, one which was nicely featured in the video that Yusuf showed, which is Vans. We also are, in our portfolio is also the North Face, Timberlands, and Dickies. And I left the comfort of a long career in New York City to expand my work and life experience. And I've joined the VF EMEA leadership team as the president, the global president for EastPac. And I am also really excited to be here today, even though it's quite late. I'm really looking forward to hearing the presentation. So thanks for having me.
Hi, everyone. My name is Justin Kamine, class of 2011. Really excited to be here. I've been a serial entrepreneur pretty much since I left the dorm rooms about 10, 12 years ago, all focused on to renewable energy, sustainable agriculture, as a Series Seed and Series A investor and co-founder of a multitude of other companies in healthcare, human health, and environmental.
Great. And certainly Nina gets our Alumni of the Day award because it's like 11:30 at night there, and she has graciously agreed to extend her evening to support our students. So thank you to all of you. And with that, Jolene, let's get started.
Perfect. So we're up first. We're tuned in, so I'll just share my screen, make sure you guys can see everything fine, and then we can get started. Can everyone see my screen? Just want to make sure. Good. Perfect. So whenever you're ready, Nilay.
All right. Hello, and thank you for coming. Today we will be talking about TuneDune, an app that we have been working on. Better playlists together. I am Niloy. Lexo couldn't make it here today.
And I'm Sean. Thank you guys so much for your time. We're gonna get started now.
Yeah, so one day I had friends over at my dorm and was playing music. Many of the songs were in my personal playlist, which my friends said they weren't quite huge fans of. I wondered if I could automatically see what songs everyone as a whole liked and played those songs specifically.
And I have to say, I was thrilled when Nila came to me with this idea, considering I was one of those friends that wasn't the biggest fan of his music choice. But just to refine that problem that we identified, the problem with music in gatherings, one person selects music with little to no input from other users. Guests are hearing music they don't like in my case, and it's just leading to an uncohesive, kind of negative experience for everyone involved. So what's our solution to this problem?
So our solution to this problem was to suggest songs to groups of people based on their each individual preferences.
And how do we do that? What does our app or product actually look like? So first of all, on the right there, that is a picture of our app in its current state. We do have an app on the App Store currently, so I implore you guys to go out there and download it once we're done if you're interested. But how our product works is guests link their music streaming accounts, whether it be Spotify or Apple Music, to our mobile app. They create a user account, and then from there, they can either join a host party to organize users, or they can create their own party to have other users join them. From there, our app aggregates their data together and suggests songs. It creates a total playlist for everyone, based on individual preferences, really. Like what you listen to informs our overall playlist. And what that looks like is right here. That's the aggregate playlist on the right. Once you've had all the users organized, and then the host of that party is able to view and choose songs from the list. They don't have to be active though, because it'll automatically play, and everyone's data and preferences are reflected in our overall playlist.
Yeah, so this is a visual representation of the platform. On the bottom left, we have guests of a party connecting their music from Spotify and Apple Music to TuneDune, which is depicted in the center. TuneDune then looks at each individual's preferences when generating a playlist of songs. The app sends these recommended songs to the host, who's represented on the top right. The host sees this recommended playlist and plays songs for everyone that everyone will like.
And what's our value proposition here? What's our edge? First of all, it's the simplicity of joining a host party. We have a very easy to use design, very low friction to use as well. The host is able to access songs everyone likes, does not have to constantly manage music, and everyone's interests are reflected in the product. So it's a much more cohesive and positive experience for everyone involved.
Additionally, there are really many opportunities for TuneDune's growth. The most clear path is starting out with small gatherings of college students, including Greek Life. Both being members of Greek Life, we see that having 750,000 members in the United States as perfect applications for TuneDune. This right here is our niche. However, we can branch out to all sorts of events, such as birthday parties and weddings, of which there are an estimated 1.8 million of yearly just in the United States.
And school dances, bar mitzvahs, the possibilities are pretty much endless because of the flexibility of our product to gatherings of virtually any size. And some other metrics I want to highlight here are the 72 million Apple Music subscribers and 155 million Spotify premium users. This is where we're drawing our data. So any tailwinds in this music streaming industry are tailwinds for TuneDune as well. And we can see the growth of paid subscribers over time, which is another positive sign for growth in the industry.
Yeah, so for monetization, there are many ways TuneDune can earn revenue. We may have a subscription service where party hosts are charged based on levels of usage from their guests. We can also have the traditional mobile advertising route. But a novel way we might choose to generate revenue is through showing sponsored songs to a party, songs that fit in with the overall theme for the group who's using the app. Our app is actually uniquely positioned to advertise one song to a bunch of people. Lastly, we may monetize similarly to jukeboxes, where individuals can pay in order to have their preferences weighed higher than others. As you can see, there are a variety of ways to generate revenue with TuneDune.
And that's going to be one of our main focuses going forward as well. We have a functional product right now. So in addition to refining that, user growth and monetization are our big next steps.
Yeah, so in terms of competition, we are really in our own boat with what we are trying to do. Our main three competitors are quite similar to each other. TouchTunes acts as a way to pay credits to play songs in bar or club settings, so it is less of a democratic approach. Jukestar, on the other hand, allows people to construct a queue to listen to, but this becomes chaotic when many people have conflicting music choices. OutLoud is very similar to Jukestar in this respect. TuneDune in its current form is already ahead of some of these apps in terms of functionality. We support both Apple Music and Spotify, not just one of them. And we also let a machine make recommendations with user input.
Absolutely. And I really want to highlight the fact that no one else in the marketplace really does what we do now. We're in a unique spot, and that has us well positioned for future growth as well. So thinking about scaling too, Nilo and I were both college students. We identified that problem. So that's our main focus currently when we're looking at scaling and growth. But our product is extremely flexible. We can use it for gatherings of virtually any size. So we do want to eventually scale into other organized events like house parties, weddings, birthdays, and eventually down the line into larger venues such as clubs and bars, because we have that flexibility in our product.
So in terms of user adoption, in the next year, we will be focusing on including features that make the application more sociable and easier to grow amongst people, as opposed to being solely functional as it is right now. This includes having an Instagram-like feed, being able to add and invite friends, and really more features that are reminiscent of a social network type thing.
And we've drawn a lot of inspiration from, for example, Venmo. Venmo operates in the digital payment space. They do a lot of the same things as competitors like PayPal, but what they do differently is they have those social networking features like a user feed, the ability to like user payments, and that's driven a lot of user adoption for them, especially amongst younger demographics. And we believe that introducing these types of features to TuneDune in the near future will drive user adoption in the same way. So what are we asking for?
So for funding, we are looking for $3,000 to spend on 4 main costs in the very short term. Firstly, we must deal with the server costs associated with supporting more people by the end of this year. Secondly, we want to invest more into the design of the application. While the app is currently fully functional, it is not quite so aesthetically pleasing to use right now. Thirdly, we must cover the costs associated with designing and testing the software, like purchasing test devices. These are costs that I have relied on myself to cover thus far. Lastly, we need to be able to finance our growth directly. We may be able to accomplish this through social media campaigns targeted on platforms like Facebook and Instagram and even Twitter.
And finally, just to summarize what we've been over so far, we have a functional product on the App Store. So once again, I'm going to ask you guys if you're interested to go out there and download the app once we're done. But what our product does is it customizes parties to the guest's musical preferences. It aggregates their data based on what they listen to, so it creates a cohesive experience for everyone involved. There's high market potential out there and little to no friction to use our app because of our simple design and attractive UI. There are multiple avenues for monetization and user growth. And we're highly ahead of the competition because no one else in the marketplace does what we do now. It's highly scalable as well. Because of the flexibility of our product, we can slot into gatherings of virtually any size. And that's all we have for you guys today. Thanks so much for your time. We're going to field any questions you might have. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, so I do have a question. Thank you so much for that. I'm really intrigued by this app, actually. I think I can see it in so many places. The one question I had was in regards to where you said you would monetize, I guess it was the people, I'm sorry, how can I say this? How do you plan to prioritize the people who spend the most money versus the least? Talk to me a bit more about how you plan to fix that, because I imagine this works with whoever has the most money. So I'm in a party, the guy with the largest amount of money pays to play, essentially. And then I'm in the back and I'm hearing songs I still hate. So how are we gonna fix that?
So I can actually take that question for right now. We were still exploring ways to monetize our application, but this is actually the one way we didn't want to monetize our application, by having the person with the most money pay the most credits and play the songs they want to hear, because that's essentially like a jukebox type of setting, and we want something to be democratic, right? Have the desires of everyone engaged. And so the way we can monetize apart from that is we can make it so that we can have sponsored songs, which is something that we mentioned earlier. This is just something that we're exploring. It's not necessarily how we're going to monetize our application as of now.
Okay.
Awesome. I'll take the next question. Fantastic idea, guys, because I remember my days down in Monroe, everyone fighting over the iPad as to who's got the next song to pick. So I think this would alleviate a lot of the concerns there. As you guys have now onboarded your app to the online platforms, have you seen a certain threshold of the amount of users and therefore the amount of songs that are typically, are you going to restrict how many people can actually come on based upon the algorithmic dynamics?
Yeah, so I can take this question as well. Computationally, we should be able to handle around 50 people in a given party. The thing is, we realize that once we scale, we need more hardware that can deal with all of these requests to use the application. And so for right now, it's really good for small groups. Like in terms of hardware support, we're not even worried about computationally how it's going to impact everything. It's perfect for it right now.
And that's one of our main areas that we're looking towards to use funding for, supporting kind of the hardware and server space to support larger groups, larger playlists.
Okay, thanks. So Justin, while you were fighting over an iPad on Monroe Street, I was still spinning in the basement of Phi Delt. So I guess we have a few years between us in graduation time. But thank you guys so much for that presentation. I think it's super interesting. I do have I thought about the word jukebox way before you said it. It just reminded me of that spirit of a jukebox. And I really like the idea of democratizing the music at a party or a hangout. One of the things that I thought of is how you might make this more interactive in terms of increasing the engagement of the guests. So once the guests are there, they come in, they kind of connect. How do they stay involved in this so that you can take them on as new users in the future when they have their own hangouts or join different groups?
Yeah, so actually what you're asking me right now is something that I was considering for a very, very long time, right? You can't only have an incentive for the person who's hosting the music, you have to have incentive for guests to connect to the application as well, right? So one thing we realized is that when we add more social network like features like being able to see a feed of, music groups and stuff like that, that really is it's really powerful in terms of the fact that it takes a lot of time from the guests. But the thing is, that's what causes guests to want to use the application even more, seeing if their friends, what parties their friends are in, what songs their friends are in. So this is really a matter of features we will add, not features that we have added so far. Yeah.
And that might look like, if you open up the app, you don't have to join the party, but you can see who's in the party. You can see what songs they're listening to. You can share your interests by sharing a playlist. You can like playlists. You can save them. These are all features that we're looking to add to, increase user retention.
So this is exactly what you were saying before with the whole Venmo feature. Like I'm trying to visualize how it would look, kind of like an Amazon meets Venmo situation. Okay.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So thank you so much for presenting. We're going to move to the next team, and I hope everyone at home is following along with their rubric, because while the judges are deliberating, the audience will also be deliberating and voting on the Audience Choice Award, which is an additional $250 cash prize. So with that, we are going to go to our next presenter. Whenever you're ready, Jonathan.
All right. Looks like it's me. There we go. Can everybody see that all right?
You're good.
All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Jonathan Rosenblum, and I'm here to present Script Sharks, the prescription bottle label obliterator. I'm a current mechanical engineering student here, a Marquis Scholar and a U.S. Army Smart Scholar, and I'm from Warren County, New Jersey. Before we move on, there's something important you should know. My father is a former federal agent. During his tenure as an investigator, there were times when he had to become a dumpster diver. For those of you who don't know what that is, imagine a federal agent knee-deep in a garbage bin, looking for evidence, and more importantly, finding it. Here's a picture of what some dumpster divers might look like. Dumpster diving is actually legal in most states because it's just trash you're throwing away. It can be problematic, however, when your private medical information is involved. See, I mentioned my father, the dumpster diving federal agent, but I didn't mention my mother, the amazing person who, as it so happens, has to take pills for a medical condition. That's when it occurred to me. Those prescription bottles that we were throwing out, just about anybody could scoop them out of the trash and learn a lot of critical information. If you take a quick look at the graphic displayed here, all of this information is displayed on prescription pill bottle labels. And all of this information can be used by someone to commit medical identity theft. I don't think I need to tell anybody here how dangerous and costly regular identity theft is. And for medical identity theft, it's doubly so, because medical identity theft can literally kill you. It can lead to an altered medical file, the use of someone's yearly Medicare benefits, and bills for procedures you did not have. As for the costs of medical identity theft, when people slog through the years of setting their medical records right, they will end up having spent an average of $13,000. The information on your pill bottles does not just make you vulnerable to medical identity theft either. People with the wrong motivations can make use of this information. If somebody knows that you're taking opiates, for example, your home is ripe for break-ins. A person's privacy is also at risk. Job background checks, divorce investigations, or just nosy neighbors. All of them want to know what's in the little pill bottle. Just as a simple example, the world doesn't need to know that you're taking antidepressants. That's between you and your doctor. So, what do? Discarded prescription bottle labels are a huge risk to us. And the solution is really quite simple: obliterate them. As a mechanical engineering student, I developed Script Sharks to fix this problem. Scriptsharks is an easy to use, handheld prescription bottle label obliteration device. Purpose of Scriptsharks is simple. Shred the label, obliterate it, make it unreadable, and do that quickly and easily. Because the most important thing about protecting private information is the knowledge that there is absolutely, positively, 100% not a chance that anyone can steal your information. Scriptsharks is simple, it's easy to use, and it's arthritis friendly. The elderly were strongly considered during the design of this product, as they are the largest population taking medication. Here's a video of the Scriptsharks in action. You'll notice that with just a splash of water, it shreds the label in under 5 seconds. As you can see, it completely obliterates the label very quickly and very easily. Okay. Now, the next question inevitably is, this product is amazing, but who will we sell it to? Well, the people who take prescription medication, which is around 66% of American adults. That is a very large population to work with. And if the pill organizer market is anything to judge by, a lucrative one as well. The pill organizer market was used here as it essentially relies upon people who take multiple medications. Pill organizers, like Scriptsharks, are also a one-time purchase. It is important to note that as the population ages, our market grows. As more people will be taking medication, and as a result, more people will be exposed to the threat of medical identity theft. The value to the customer of this product is that it prevents medical identity theft, as well as the expenses, hours lost, loss of services, and dangerous medical errors that come with it. It also helped prevent people's houses from being targeted for drug-related burglaries, home invasions, and robberies. Scriptsharks is an easy-to-use, maintenance-free product that protects a user's privacy. How will I bring this product to the world? Retail sales and direct website sales are an option. Selling this product in pharmacies and retail stores, as well as fulfilling website orders. It turns out, however, I'm not the only person who sees medical identity theft as a problem. Insurance companies, pharmacies, and healthcare providers all have a vested interest in stopping medical identity theft, as does US law enforcement. The product I'm selling is not a toy or a gimmick, but a real product that can help solve a real problem people face. This is why Scriptsharks would also work well as a promotional product, something that is given away in large numbers to consumers to ensure that they're properly protecting themselves. Currently, I have several dozen online sales, as I was using my website as a test market. This is a picture of our blister pack, which is how I send out the product, and how I distribute it, how I would distribute it for retail sales. I do have competition, but it's definitely something I can handle. There are products that cover the label in various ways. However, these usually can be removed with something as simple as nail polish remover, acetone. Or you can just read the label through the ink anyway in the proper lighting. The issue with these is that they don't destroy the information, they just cover it. There is only one other competitor that is similar to Scriptsharks. However, due to their design, their product is not user or arthritis friendly, and it does not work on different sized bottles. I think these reviews about their product say more than I ever could. Currently, I'm producing Scriptsharks in the USA in small batches. It costs around $2.25 to make each one, and it is currently selling for $10. Here's a financial projection, assuming that I only captured 0.02%, 0.02% of the market. So a very conservative estimate, utilizing the same small batches cost of goods sold. If I were to sell the products on a large scale like this, the cost of goods sold would likely be less than this, as I would receive a cheaper rate from the manufacturer. Scriptsharks has had a utility patent since 2018. So when I start mass marketing this product, I will not have to worry about identical competitors, as they would face lawsuits if they were too similar to Scriptsharks. As for the reason I'm here, first and foremost, I'm presenting this product to all of you in order to gauge your interest in it. Because while I have an amazing product, I don't have a network to reach the entire country. So if you have a network like that or connections to someone, I'm speaking to you. Also, I could use the funding today and put it towards marketing, advertisements in AARP magazine, in newspapers, and on TV or radio in areas that have large elderly populations. To summarize, Script Sharks can help people who take medication protect themselves from medical identity theft, drug-related break-ins, and loss of privacy. Script Sharks obliterates prescription pill bottle labels, which can leave vulnerable information. The Script Sharks prescription bottle label obliterator is an easy-to-use, elderly-friendly product. I estimate that the market for this product is valued at $600 million, and I have few current competitors. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions?
Yes, I'll go first. Well, great presentation, very concise and clear, and fantastic development on the patent, on the development of the prototype for sale and everything. So congratulations, really amazing work. So walk me through a little bit of your customer acquisition strategy. So you talked about kind of newspapers, you talked about kind of focusing on elderly as well, and oftentimes reaching them on a digital perspective is also sometimes more difficult. But how's your experience been so far? You said that you had a website up on kind of who you're targeting and the conversion of that based upon obviously your price point of $10. You're going to have to try to get your conversion down to a price point that then makes sense to make a profitable business.
So the sales themselves, unfortunately, I haven't had the capital to really market to, like I said, AARP or newspapers. So it has been difficult to get exactly at the elderly population specifically with what I have. So I'm not entirely certain the age of the group that is in fact buying it online. I do understand that it may not be the elderly as much as perhaps middle-aged individuals due to, again, the use of the internet. Something like this would likely increase once this was rolled out for retail, where the elderly can go into the pharmacy and just purchase it.
Great.
Hi, Jonathan.
Hi. Oh,
You want to go, Nina?
sure. Hi, thanks so much. I'm sorry, I might be going out of turn. Thanks so much for the presentation and a really interesting idea. I've spent many times with a Sharpie marker trying to remove information on medicine bottles. One of the things that I thought about is that you spent a lot of time talking about this sort of end consumer and attracting them. And we know the cost of advertising. We know how hard it is to reach a lot of people and the cost really associated with that. You mentioned very briefly thinking of it as a promo product. If you were without a huge amount of funding, you'd have small batch production in the US, allowing yourself much more of an opportunity for a copycat to come in, change a small thing and start mass producing it offshore and, taking over the market in a quick way by being able to do that real quick. What would your thoughts be on sort of pre-ordering in more of a B2B, like you said, a promo item or something like that? How would you connect to that?
As for promotional products, one thing that I was considering was having, for promotional products, of course, the company would have their logo and such printed on Script Sharks. And usually when it comes to minor alterations, as can be seen with the competitor, it does seem like if the model is not Script Sharks, it does not work as well because of how we design this, that it doesn't allow the user to use it as easily. It just is not as effective. It's not the real deal.
Understood. And that's part one is understood about getting away from the copycats. But again, just thinking a little more broadly on connecting with that opportunity for promo items. But that's just something for you to think about a little further.
When you said, I didn't quite catch when you said B2B, I believe.
Yeah, so like more of a business to business model versus trying to hit each individual consumer, maybe making it an approach from a business to business model where you would be able to understand what you're able to sell before you manufacture it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think, hi, Jonathan. I
Hello.
was so excited when you said it's arthritis friendly. I am a young person who has arthritis, and there are many people like me who have arthritis since they're children. So echoing what Nina said, I almost feel like you saying it's for the elderly is limited. And if you're trying to go the route of selling it in stores like Duane Reade, CVS, I also feel like that's such a high probability that you'll get more competitors, and you don't want that. I would suggest that you do a bit more research and see what the hospitals are doing to solve this issue. I didn't hear you mention that in the presentation. It's like we have all these hospitals, right? What exactly are they doing to solve this issue with all the prescriptions that they're giving out? At the end of the day, what do they do to solve that? I think you could come in as a contractor for that very problem. Nursing homes, it's what Nina said, B2B. Your advertising is also going to be an issue if you're saying you're only marketing to the elderly. Like, we are in a digital age. Magazines are dying, stores are dying. You need it to be marketed in a way so that it reaches the caretakers of the elderly, if that is your primary audience, but also look at subsects too, like people who are terminally ill, younger people with the same issue afflicted with arthritis and things like that. Like, do a bit more research in those areas and kind of see what's needed.
That makes a lot of sense. Thank you. When I keep referring to the elderly, I apologize. It did not mean to make it seem like this is meant only for old people. This is a product that just about anybody can use. My mother uses it. She's not elderly. Anybody can use this product and use it to protect themselves. It's really just a matter of, if you're taking medication, this can be of use to you and this can help you.
Mm-hmm. So change the marketing, because the word that stands out in my mind is elderly. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I have arthritis too. Can I get it? But he says it's just for the elderly. So again, the words and the marketing and how you say it, it's like, that's what resonates. So this is for everyone. You don't need to say the elderly. You just say you take prescriptions. Here's a solution.
Awesome. Well, good. Congratulations. Great presentation. Jolene, we are ready for the third team.
Every year, 10.9 million students enroll in college, but only 6.5 million actually graduate.
But what happened to the 4.4 million that didn't graduate? Well, they dropped out because they could no longer afford to pay for college tuition. They were underprepared for the academic rigor of college, and they lacked the knowledge of what habits they would need to reach their personal goals and the discipline to balance the freedom and academics that came with college life.
But let's take a look at those that actually managed to graduate. How did they perform? Well, they experienced academic and mental distress, which led to substantial weight gain, especially in their first year, where they gained almost 6 times more weight than any other class year.
Students leaving college today as graduates are almost financially crippled, with not having jobs lined up after graduation, and over 69% of them having student loan debt, which is at least $29,000, and credit card debt, which is $1,000 at least.
So what's the problem? The problem is students are dropping out of college at alarming rates. But moreover, the majority of students that do manage to graduate are not thriving while in college. This is why we created Young and Thriving,
designed to help college students live their best lives now.
On these pictures on the left, we're smiling, but we were completely unaware of all that college had in store for us. In our first year, we experienced financial difficulties, academic stress, weight gain, overwhelm, and to top it all off, homesickness, as we were miles away from our island home of Jamaica. Fortunately, though, we were able to overcome these obstacles through using practical tips and systems.
And these are the practical tips and systems that we want to share and the support we want to provide. And that is why we created Young and Thriving, a college brand designed to provide college students with the systems they need, not only to complete college, but thrive. I am Chelsea Wright, a junior studying industrial engineering and statistics, proud co-founder of the Young and Thriving and creator of the 7-day scholarship search challenge that empowers students with the tools they need to search and apply for scholarships to help them graduate college debt-free.
And I'm Shantae Shand, a junior studying engineering studies and economics with a concentration in finance. I'm the co-founder of Young and Thriving and the creator of the Straight A's Stress-Free course, where I help college students get straight A's stress-free.
So our solution to this problem was developing and bringing to market a suite of digital products and physical products that promote holistic college life. Our flagship physical product is the College Boss Planner that is equipped with the templates for personal goal setting, daily planning, personal finances, and grade tracking. And our online tools are, as we mentioned, our on-demand courses, which are the 7-day scholarship search challenge and the Straight A stress-free course. The combination of our support and our tools for college students is our online community of college students, which we call Thrivers.
Below, you'll see a few of the testimonials that we've received from our retail clients. So it's obvious our methods and systems work. We just need to increase our brand awareness and market penetration within the higher education space to reach even more students and take Young and Thriving to the next level. Let's take a look at the market. Within the United States, there are around 5,300 colleges and universities. That translates to around 16.7 million undergrad students. We'd like to primarily focus on first and second year students within the beginning parts of our business, and that amounts to around 8.4 million students. Studies have identified groups that are more likely to drop out of college or simply not make the most of what college has to offer. These groups include African American, Hispanics, first generation, and Native Americans. And that gives us a target market of around 2.5 million students.
So what sets us apart is that we provide a holistic approach to balancing college life. Students are not one-dimensional beings, so why should they be forced to use a one-dimensional product? We are a company of Gen Z college students that develops products for Gen Z college students, and we have struggled through and conquered the unique stresses that come with maneuvering college today.
Young and Thriving provides excess return on investment. The success of the college is totally dependent on the success of their students. The better the students perform, the better jobs they get, and this increases their propensity to give back to the school, which strengthens the financial position of the schools and their prestige. Now, another thing that sets us apart is the Young and Thriving Foundation. It's also very dear to our hearts. This is where we'll give 5% of our profits to a cohort of underprivileged college first years to receive our services and products completely free, but I'm not done yet. They're also going to get scholarships.
Okay, so as it stands, what will drive our revenue are our programs offered to institutions in our gold and silver packages. So now in the gold package, an institution will receive a year-long partnership with the Young and Thriving team to facilitate a more in-depth and hands-on approach to college success. In the silver package, we will have a one-time college success presentation to the institution, and both packages, students of the institution will receive, of course, the Young and Thriving College Boss Planner to put the knowledge they have learned to practice. Currently, we do offer our Young and Thriving College Boss Planners for retail and or online courses for retail on our website. And whether you are introduced to our products via a partnership with an institution or you purchased retail, you will be added to our online community of Thrivers.
Let's take a look at our 5-year projection. For this analysis, we used a per school basis. On the left here, you could see the number of schools we intend to partner with between the gold and silver package. As it relates to our retail growth, we foresee a 10% increase each year. That's going to be due to our social media marketing and digital advertising. But even furthermore, with our increased brand awareness and market penetration, we intend to have partnerships with the schools to have our planners sold in their on-campus bookstores. So let's take a look at the numbers now. For year one, with all our revenue streams combined, this gives us a net profit of $68,915. And with some growth in year 5, we're looking at a net profit of $350,651.
Wow, what a mouthful, Shante. Okay, so scaling, we will be introducing the College Boss Ambassador Program, which is to increase and strengthen brand awareness with our partnered institutions with their students. We will also be expanding into different high schools for their senior year and college-bound student programs to target and reach college students even earlier. And of course, to broaden our reach to different in-person sessions at institutions, we will be hiring interns and staff.
Competition. We have 3 main competitors, the first of which is Guaranteed 4.0. They're a company that focus primarily on academics. And while that is great, we've realized that academics is not what college is about. It is important, but there are other things for college students to learn and grow in. So their focus is very limited, and it may lack the continued mentorship that we provide. Let's take a look at Young and Lavish Life brand and the Centered Student. They have planners, but their planners are dated and they do not have robust online resources that accompanies these planners. And let's be frank, people, none of these companies are led by current college students, and they don't have our online community of Thrivers that provide support and sustainable change within college students. So this sets Young and Thriving apart as versatile and holistic.
So with that being said, our ask is $3,000 to facilitate a website upgrade to purchase the tools that will better our online experience. We'll also want to increase our travel budget to attend different conferences, to be in the spaces of these higher ed administrators to further facilitate the market penetration we so desire. And of course, like any brand, we would love to increase our brand awareness and have online marketing. And so we're requesting the funds to increase our advertising budget as well.
If you'd like to find out more about Young and Thriving, please email us at info@youngandthriving.com or check out our website at youngandthriving.com.
Thank you so much. And we will be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Hi, really interesting and a really super engaging presentation. I really liked your energy and your enthusiasm. It was really refreshing and helped keep me awake. So my question is a little bit more about when you were talking about your competitors and you said the 4.0 was really just about, you know, doing well academically and there's other things. Give me some examples of some of the content you cover, or one of those things that you'd say, we really help you with this. What is that hook?
First of all, we really stress our holistic approach to college, and we understand the importance of academics, but we really emphasize time management. Time management is a sore point for a lot of college students. We have other goals, we have other things we want to accomplish while in college. I want to build a business in college, and we know other persons want to do that, but you can't do that if you cannot manage your time. That is something we focus on. We focus on getting the grades, but not spending as much time. You don't need to be a bookworm to get straight A's, and that is what I emphasize. And also financial stress is a big part of attending college, and that is what Chelsea covers. You could go ahead with that.
Right. So a part of the Young and Thriving program, we have like discounts to our different courses, which is the 7-day scholarship search challenge. And it's a challenge that really breaks down how to search and apply for scholarships, and students are guaranteed to find at least 14 scholarships in 7 days. And going back to the time management point that Shante brought up, in our planner, we do have like a space for specific time blocking that teaches students how to manage their time as well.
I guess I'm on the next question. Great presentation, and really echo the enthusiasm and the problem that you guys are all solving is, I think, much more and much larger than I think a lot of people appreciate across the nation. So kudos to you all. I think I would like to see kind of and hear as kind of a little bit more about the details around what you guys are doing and how. As I kind of look through the PowerPoint and the website, I see about the planner, which is fantastic. But that's not the differentiation, right? The differentiation is actually, Chelsea, what you just said, right? It's we're getting in 7 days 14 scholarships, and those types of stats, those types of wow, and really how this community is getting built is really the ecosystem that I think you're driving towards. Not just so much of, hey, we're going to help you do this, but how are you going to help us do that, right? And I think getting into a little bit more details, but then I think refine the pitch in a little bit of a greater way to then kind of open up the eyes as to, wow, even just the stat that you said, that's amazing. That's a business in itself if you can just do that, let alone then everything else that you guys are really bringing to the table. So I would ask them, I guess my question is how does this, and where would you guys target this? Is this in kind of looking back at my college career, it might be kind of the freshman orientation, right? The engagement of that, and then you're building the community. So is that where you guys are focused, or is this more kind of ancillary to anyone that has kind of difficulties throughout their college career?
Well, I'll go ahead first, Chelsea, and you could add if I miss anything. Well, we understand that colleges want to help their students thrive, and they're the ones that we want to partner with. For our pilot program, we're actually starting this fall with a group of 80 Lafayette students, and this will be our case study. And I think the best type of persuasion, I know that we are young and persons might, not take us seriously, but I think results is the best form of persuasion. And once we run this case study coming this semester with this group of 80 students, providing that monthly mentorship and sharing the tools, the tips, the knowledge that we have, then we'll track their performance, and that will be like, or that what we'll market to people, like
right
results. It's not just or like a life coaching thing. No, we're about getting the grades, we're about getting the money, we're about getting the jobs, we're about thriving, and that is not something that would take lightly. Anything you want to add to that, Joseph?
I think you covered it perfectly.
Hello, ladies, hailing from the beautiful island of Jamaica.
Right?
Awesome. From Jamaica. Lovely presentation. I really, really loved the energy, and I like the name a lot, because I think, as Justin was saying, this is something that I don't think people talk enough about, like the anxiety and the stress that comes with being a high school senior or being a first and second year student, where you're making all these really big decisions. So I get it from that standpoint. What I would like to see in the presentation is, if I come to you as a business and I say, I want the platinum package, what do I get in this package? Like, I need to see, am I getting a planner? Am I getting a cute bag? Am I getting a 7-day online course? What am I getting? And you need to be clear in bullet points. Right. 7-day challenge, right. You get this. Platinum package, you get this. Because then I'm gonna come back to you and say, okay, but this person's getting so-and-so in that package, what am I getting? So, right. and I think if you sell it that way, where you're highlighting the value of each,
right,
people can more understand what it is you are trying to do. Because I hear a couple of things. I hear the scholarship stood out to me. And I think most students are gonna be like, yes, give me the money, give me all the money. Like, how do I get it, right? So, and the fact is, most students are on some form of financial aid. So I think right. That niche, just targeting that niche, when you present it, and then you pull them in with that, and then you hit them with everything else that you offer once you draw them in, right? So if I'm a first year student, you're telling me I can help you find 14 scholarships in 7 days. I'm like, oh, sign me up. Is it free? What else do I need to do? Absolutely, right? So you have this one thing that you're gonna use to draw people in, and then when they come in, you have your different packages, and you could say, oh, by the way, we offer X, Y, and Z as well.
Right. Yeah.
The next thing, more of a question than a commentary. You said that this was targeted towards first and second year students, but there's a large scholarship component. I'm wondering if that part isn't better for like a high school senior. How many scholarships are there available for students who are already in undergrad in the first and the second year versus a high school senior when we're like all scrambling trying to get all this money?
I'll let the scholarship
Right.
guru
Like
take
my
that
face
one.
lit up when you said that. So yeah,
Yeah.
contrary to popular belief, most students don't get most of their financial aid like out of high school. It's when you are, I guess, concreted in your major and you know exactly who you are. That's when you have like a profile, like a scholarship profile that makes you marketable for different scholarships. So for example, students may come into college undecided, right? Or in high school, you don't know what you want to do. But a high school graduate compared to say a first year or a second year, there's some sort of difference in that. So yes, it would be beneficial to high school students, but I think that the same value is there because, they're testimonials because a lot of the students that have already purchased the planner and have gotten the different courses, so the scholarship challenge, they are already college students and they have been seeing the results of finding the scholarships. So.
Okay, thank you.
Outstanding. And so last but not least, let's bring this home with VIMS. Jolene, can you get that set up?
You guys can see it all right?
We're all ready? All right.
Cool.
Good evening, everyone. Today we'll be presenting our product VIMS, or the Virtual Integrated Machining Simulator. When COVID first struck, sophomore mechanical engineers here at Lafayette lost out on the opportunity to learn machining when the college switched to fully remote learning. My name is Michael Anzalotti.
My name is Brian Kaufman.
And for the past year, we've been working with 4 other talented mechanical engineers under the supervision of Professor Alexander Brown to address this problem. Over time, we realized that this product we designed has the potential to be the solution to a much larger problem.
So currently in the United States, a large number of manufacturing jobs are going unfilled. Unfortunately, this is a number that is projected to increase over the next decade. A study conducted in 2018 by Deloitte and the Manufacturing Institute predicts that by 2028, 2.4 million manufacturing jobs will go unfilled. There are 3 major reasons for this. There's a lack of skilled workers due to misperceptions about what manufacturing entails. Skill sets are shifting towards advanced technologies, and there's a major inaccessibility to formal training.
This increasing job shortage is extremely costly for the country. This projection from the Deloitte study shows that this skill shortage could risk the US $2.5 trillion from 2018 to 2028. This projection is based on 10-year extensions of Deloitte's 2018 Q2 US economic forecast.
So a quick introduction to manufacturing training. Formal manufacturing training is typically taught by starting the student out on a manual machine, such as the lathe shown on the left. Once they're comfortable with understanding how this machine works, they can learn how to operate a CNC machine shown on the right. CNC stands for Computer Numerical Control and is a manufacturing process where the user inputs code that controls the machine automatically. This is the machining process that's commonly used on manufacturing floors across the country today.
Because of the dangers that these machines pose, it is very common that beginners are taught how to operate the machines by professionals. This can be tough to find for many people as it requires formal education, which is expensive, or a close connection, which not everyone has. People without access to vocational schools or personal connections are at a disadvantage when it comes to being hired for an entry-level manufacturing job. Machining certificates such as the NIMS certificate can give new hires an upper hand, but are unattainable for people without manufacturing experience because of the associated performance tests.
Now, to address this problem, we intend to use our product VIMS, which is a virtual machining learning tool with haptic feedback. Haptic feedback is the use of force to create a physical experience for the user. An example is when your phone vibrates as you press each button while you type a text message.
There have been numerous studies and reports highlighting the effectiveness of haptic feedback when learning new manual machining skills, which is why it was so important for us to include in our system. VIMS has software that can run on any computer. All you have to do is download the program, plug in the physical system, and run. It contains a virtual environment with accurate models of machinery to scale.
VIMS teaches the user through tutorials which contain videos of professionals performing each step of the operation with a voiceover and text to describe the process.
There are integrated activities and evaluation questions throughout the tutorials to ensure the user is paying attention and learning the content presented.
You can reference the part drawing of the piece you are creating at any time by clicking a button in the top right. You can even toggle between different views to get a better look at the part that you're making.
Like on a real lathe, drilling in the simulator without retracting the drill bit causes debris to build up inside the hole. As a result, the haptic feedback increases the resistance of the hand wheel, making it harder to turn and giving the user a very realistic drilling experience. We are still early in the prototype testing phase, but we allowed Scott, a Lafayette machine shop technician, to use our initial prototype, and he had this to say: "The lathe simulator actually felt like I was drilling a piece of material." This was very motivating to hear that VIMS felt realistic to somebody that has been operating a lathe for many years.
Now we have identified two main markets for our product. These include correctional facilities in America, as well as vocational and high schools. According to a report from RAND, inmates who go through some sort of educational program are less likely to be reincarcerated than those who do not partake in any educational programs. In this study, it was found that for a pool of 100 inmates, implementing some sort of educational program can save $900,000 over just 3 years. And this is only for a pool of 100 inmates, not for the entire prison population.
Considering the entire prison population from 2019, recorded by the US Department of Justice, there were more than 1.4 million inmates within prisons in America. The Bureau of Prisons reports the yearly cost of incarceration is approximately $36,000 per inmate. Therefore, the prison system in America spent approximately $52 billion on prisoners in 2019. The US Department of Justice also reports that approximately 52% of inmates participate in educational programs. Considering the fact that few prison systems offer machining programs and there are millions of unfilled manufacturing jobs in America, if we speculate that our product can increase inmate participation in educational programs and decrease reincarceration both by 10%, this would in turn save the prison system more than $4 billion a year, which is approximately 8% of yearly spending. More importantly, it could prevent approximately 115,000 people from being reincarcerated a year.
In vocational high schools, the end goal is generally to teach CNC machining skills, but manual machining skills are necessary first. VIMS can thus act as a complementary tool for extra practice on manual machinery without wasting any material, or as a supplementary tool to replace manual machining, where the student can then jump to CNC learning. In schools that don't offer manual machining, VIMS would be a fantastic alternative to purchasing expensive machinery and hiring professionals to teach students. Additionally, VIMS would be able to give students exposure to an industry with a surplus of jobs that they could pursue in the future. In the long term, we hope to market our product internationally, since many international educational programs have similar problems with a lack of access to these machines.
The competition to our system exists in two realms. The first is existing simulators. The simulator on the left is from verlabs.tech and costs $15 per simulator, while on the right is a CNC simulator that charges $99 a year. However, these don't have haptic feedback and can only be so effective at providing a real learning experience. The second is physical lathes. Manual lathes can cost as low as $7,500, while CNC lathes can cost upwards of $100,000. These are extremely expensive and inaccessible for most people, and they are also bulky and have limited variability.
We designed VIMS to contain the best parts of both existing simulators and physical machines, and our business model reflects that. You can see here how we have different options for purchasing while remaining cost-effective compared to the large and physical machines. Price discovery is ongoing, but we are trying to establish prices by comparing VIMS to other haptic devices and simulator programs that are currently on the market. We're also in contact with shop technicians and directors to gain their insight and pricing advice. We are expecting the price range to be about $1,000 to $2,000 though. We hope to expand this product to include CNC programming and CNC tutorials, as well as more machining simulators. And our business model allows our customers to purchase add-ons as they become available to allow for this expansion. Note that the cost of production will most likely be increasing along with the added functionalities.
We also intend to reach out to the following companies to see if they would be interested in partnering with us. This would allow us to combine our physical interface and haptic feedback with Haas and vertlabs.tech machining and CNC simulators. Due to the statistics and research shown earlier, state and correctional facilities could save a lot of money by using our product, and many manufacturing jobs could be potentially filled as well. And if we could partner with NIMS so that our tutorial and learning program could prepare students for a certificate test or even give them that certificate, that would be a huge step in the right direction.
We hope to grow our team in the future. Considering we are all engineers, we've been mainly focusing on just research and development. If we could add marketing and sales team members to help with getting our product out there, then as engineers, we can focus on adding and expanding upon VIMS. Because of this, we are asking for the $3,000 to help fund the expansion of our team with the goal to conduct more market research for VIMS.
Ultimately, VIMS has an enormous opportunity for expansion and growth. VIMS not only prepares people for manufacturing and can fill many unfilled jobs, but there's also an opportunity to make an extremely positive social change in a time where we all know social change in the criminal justice system is both pressing and necessary. Here are the resources we use for our presentation. Thank you all so much for listening. Here's our contact information if you would like to reach out to us in the future. We welcome any questions or comments about VIMS and hope all you guys are excited about our product as we are. Thank you.
Hi guys, thank you so much for that presentation. I really like what you are trying to do with inmates. I think that is a part of our population that we absolutely need to do more for them, to rehabilitate them and to bring them back into society. I have a question about the machinery and just some considerations. Have you really thought how someone who is disabled could use this machine? I feel like that is the one area that I didn't see enough covered. Like I get it would serve inmates and other populations in vocational schools, but what about those individuals within that population who are disabled, who need the time accounted for? How could this work for them?
That's an excellent question. And most of our research right now has just been making it as realistic as we can, so that it can be just like learning how to use a real lathe or a real mill. And ultimately it will be preparing inmates or people in VOTEC schools or anywhere to be, having this job in the future, joining this industry of manufacturing. So I guess it would depend on the disability, because with some disabilities, it's like, it would be, virtually impossible to be using this machinery on your feet all day, nonstop in like a manufacturing setting. But this is something that we can definitely look into and reach out to the companies that, hire manufacturing individuals and see what type of accommodations they make for disabled individuals and see if we can simulate that same type of thing in our product.
Absolutely. I think investors now are looking for a tech component, something that is setting you apart going forward, that is innovative, and that you're considering the entire population, leaving no stone unturned. So there's absolutely something just to consider. The last point is more of a suggestion for you, being that you are working with inmates, or rather you're targeting that population. Maybe a nonprofit could work as well, where you would get more funding for your idea and you would be helping that population as well at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's a really good thought. And yeah, we need to, like I said, we've really been focusing on that R&D part of it. And so that's where a lot of that funding we want to go to is, having people who can help us, because, we are just engineers. Like, I don't want to say just engineers, but we are engineers and we don't have that extensive business background that a lot of people have. And to bring people on board who can help us with that would be extremely, extremely useful.
That's okay. That's why we're here. And next time you do this again, find someone in the econ department or someone that's like an industrial designer who maybe can help you with it.
Absolutely, yeah.
And you'll learn quickly as an entrepreneur, you're wearing every hat. So it's not just one aspect, but kudos to you guys. This is really cool. This is each different company, but this one as well is all about what the Dyer campus is all about, right? It's, you guys were handed a unfortunate situation with COVID, and how do I get and understand what I need to learn, and how do I continue to progress your education and progress your engagement with the school? And you took a necessity that you guys had to figure out collectively together, and you turned it into a business. And that's oftentimes what is the best outcomes of all of this, right? It's just how do I create something that I need? And then, oh my God, it's also a huge opportunity within the marketplace. And we kind of always joke as an entrepreneur, the garage kind of machine shopped into, okay, oh wow, I created something really substantial and massive. And I really appreciate where you guys are focused on the marketplace with the prisons. I think the major key aspect of this will be very something similar we heard with Young and Thriving, which is something that I think you guys need to think about and or would love to ask the question, which is when you have a consumer starting to take or utilize this product, you need to, I think, run a study on 20 consumers that go into the real physical location and 20 consumers that go into the physical location for 1 hour comparatively to maybe 10 hours in the other one, and then utilize your digital platform and compare the results to actually see how much beneficial this technology can really be. So have you guys thought about your kind of use case?
I love that you just said that. We are literally testing it right now with mechanical engineering students. I think we have a pool of 10 students or maybe more, maybe less. And we have half of them who are going through the exact mechanical engineering tutorial that they would go through in the course where you learn how to do it, where Scott, who's our lab technician, he goes through the whole tutorial with them. And then after they do that tutorial, they then make a piece on their own, and we have ways of evaluation. And then we have another group who's using our tutorial and using, look, with our haptic feedback and everything. And then they go and they make a piece without touching a lathe before with, guided, like with Scott overlooking them. And it's like, I think we had,
so you're able to run,
we had,
so you're able to run like a double blind placebo.
Exactly. Yeah. And
we're testing more tomorrow, actually.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, great comment. I'm really excited about it.
Excellent timing on the question.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. I learned a lot during that session about stuff I don't know anything about. So thank you for that education. And mine is more comment than question, because I'm not educated enough in what you're doing to ask any technical question, but I do have a marketing background, and I saw that you are interested in that. So what I noticed in your presentation is your main point of differentiation from your competitors is the haptic response. My suggestion to you on that would be, how do you play that up? How do you really expose that? How do you highlight it in a bigger way? Really pointing out the benefits of that in a more extreme way. I would have liked to know that, just not being a technical person. The other thing, when you started, I thought it was really interesting that you looked at sort of this gap in the workforce in this space. And I've worked with some companies. Dickies is part of the portfolio of brands that I work with, and obviously they have a huge workwear division, and one of their purpose is around worthy work and showing really how beneficial working in many fields is. I thought that also, again, I'm going into the marketing space, since you guys said I'm just engineers, but you don't have that experience. The idea of corporate sponsorship in that way, where many companies are right now are really looking to tie into purpose in a very connected way to what their brands stand for. It could be an interesting route for you guys to explore. And I can ask the question, have you thought that way at all, in terms of funding for, to look at a corporate sponsorship that's really looking to get involved in a purpose that aligns with their brand vision?
Yeah, I don't really think we've considered that yet. It's something that I'm sure we would be very interested in doing, but yeah, we haven't really approached that yet.
Yeah, we've thought about, like we said with the NIMS certificate, like if we could partner with them and create a tutorial that accomplishes teaching everything that you would need to learn for the certificate, and have some way where you could then have like a discount on the exam, because it's like a $40-50 exam or something, where then you can learn that and then take the exam or something in that regards. But I think partnering with like an actual like big name sponsorship would be great. Yeah.
Really cool. Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right, so I think now everyone understands why I said I did not relish the role that our judges now have to go into a breakout room and decide who wins this competition. And but before we do that, I just want to follow up on what Justin said, which is this is what the Dyer Center is all about, and it's about this community. Because there are several members of the Board of Trustees that have taken time out of their day to hear our students. I mean, there are folks who are running companies, who are managing families, other different priorities, but we've had over 100 members of our community, including Nina, who is, it's like 12 o'clock there, to give their time and hear these students out. And that is what the Dyer Center is all about, leveraging our entire community to help our students move forward and have an impact. So with that, Jolene, can we move the judges to a breakout room? We are going to put the poll up. So all of you in the audience, please vote for your favorite for the Audience Choice Prize. And then Jolene, for the benefit of the folks who are local and including some of our students who are on this, can you please share the details of the event, our partner a partner organization called The Factory in Bethlehem, really interesting, a startup incubator company. They're having a pitch competition, and we have had students present in the past. So Jolene, just maybe mention that while the timer's going. So just keep it up there for maybe, I don't know, 20 seconds so folks can see it, the students, and then let's move the judges to the breakout room and we will be back to announce the winner. And we are ready to go. So first of all, thank you everyone for your patience. As you can imagine, it was a spirited conversation. And with that, I will turn it over to the judges.
So I just want to say thank you again. I was fully engaged during your presentations, and I am wowed. I think when we got to the other room, I said, I don't think I went to college with anybody like you. So really, really super impressed. And I also would like to say, if there's, I had some great thoughts for all of you, and I'd be happy to take any questions. Yusuf has my contact information, and if any of you want to reach out to me and ask any questions, one of my favorite things to do is connect with students. I've been connecting with Lafayette students and other students from other schools, and I love to spend the time doing it. So even though I'm busy, I would love to help you. So thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you all the same. I was hugely impressed. I honestly felt like I should have gone to Lafayette now, because this did not exist when I was there, and I would have been on here competing like for all the coins, like give me all the money. So I just want to congratulate you guys. I know this probably took a lot of time and you were probably nervous to show us your ideas, and I'm so thankful that you did. It was amazing. Like I felt warm, I felt the energy. So thank you.
I want to echo that and congratulate each one of you. Absolutely incredible, amazing. Each product and each company had a market fit. I've been doing this a lot of years, 10, 12 years as myself. And I think the most important thing as an entrepreneur, even as I've now raised money for 5 or 6 different companies from a lot of people, it's the word no. And it's how you embrace that and how you keep going, and that persistence. And I hear no pretty much every single day, but it's the conviction and the passion around what you can do and continue to get better every single day. So I'm excited for all of you. You each are amazing entrepreneurs, and I say that in the most heartfelt way. And I'm on LinkedIn or whatever, so feel free to reach out to me, and anything that we can do to help, just let me know.
And now the moment we've all been waiting for. So I'm going to announce, we decided to reward 3 companies with money. So it's not just one grand prize winner. So the company that we felt won the competition is Toondune. And Toondune will be giving you $2,000 towards your business. We understand that it's going to be amazing, and we wish you best of luck. Second and third companies, we actually split the difference between you two. We felt that it was a very tight race between you two. Those companies are Young and Thriving and VIMS. So congratulations to you guys. I also want to congratulate Scriptshark as well. This by no means means that your idea is not viable or that you should not continue to compete or come back again the next time. We rewarded these teams based on today's parameters. So as all the judges said, I'm also on LinkedIn. I'm also available if you guys need any help at all, refining your pitch, or with anything in general. I'm always willing to help with Lafayette students. So congratulations to you all. And I want to see you do good with this small investment.
Fantastic. And I would just like to echo that. Congratulations to all of the participants. At the end of the day, the biggest thing you have to overcome is to get started. And all of these students began to take action and, you know, looked at a problem and said, I'm not satisfied, and began to work towards a solution. And that's what the Dyer Center is all about, supporting and facilitating student action. And so congratulations for doing that. And then thank you to everyone for showing up. It's what this community is all about. And I know our students benefited tremendously from everyone's perspective. So please don't hesitate to reach out to me or reach out to any of the students if you have specific feedback around their ideas. So continue to stay connected with the Dyer Center. And this is what we do to build this community. So thank you, everyone. Have a great night. And we'll talk to everyone soon.
And then for the
oh, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, Jolene, you have you.
So at 55% of the award went to Young and Thriving.
So they are our audience choice winner as well. So with that, Jolene, is it okay for me to say good night to everyone?
Yes, we can all sign off. Thank you very much.
Good night, everyone. Bye.
Good night,
everyone. Thank you guys so much.
Good night, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.